Are we on the air?
You're now in the mix with The Corner Radio, hosted by Kool, banging nothing but classic hip-hop, soul, and R&B.
What's good, what's good, what's good? Y'all tuned to The Corner Radio, hosted by your man, Kel. I got my hip-hop squad up here in effect with me. Now I got Veg with me. What's good, Vegas?
All right, what's good? What's up? What's poppin'?
Man, everything, man. Glad the week is coming to an end. I got my man, DJ Rack One. What's good, Rack?
What's good, what's good, what's good?
Everything. And I got my man, Beezo. Been a minute. First time since 2017, man.
It was good.
You got to get you back in effect, man. But you already know what it is. Let's jump right into it. To be honest, I don't even know how I came up with this topic. But I was thinking about cats who were one-hit wonders, who didn't deserve to be one-hit wonders. You know, and number one, I think a lot of times when certain people hear one-hit wonders, like maybe Milli Vanilla, like somebody who wasn't talented. Like that's not my definition really of a one-hit wonder. This dude may have just had one album out, maybe even two albums out, but that second album didn't really make no noise as much as the first. Hell, a couple of people who I got on my list, I ain't realized that they had 4 or 5 albums out. You know what I mean? But them 3 and 4 other albums, like nobody ever heard of. You know what I mean? So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about them cats who may have had 1 or 2 albums out, but they was dope. And they, you know, we wanted to hear more from them, but you know, something just never happened. Whether the group was up, whether the label, you know, bailed out for whatever reason, we just never heard from them again. So we gonna go in like that. Beezo, what's good, man? What's your number 5, or what's one of your groups, even if you don't have them in order? Which one of your groups?
I mean, I guess I should set this off on a good note, a controversial note. But I'm gonna say Black Moon.
Okay.
And here's why, because when we think of Black Moon, people tend to think of the whole boot camp clique. You know what I'm saying? And all the other cats that dropped LPs after the first joint. But I mean, as we all know, that first album was just incredible. I mean, that's when we was at Morgan Kill. It was just ridiculous. And then they had a couple of remixes off of the album. Same thing. They was ridiculous. But what after that, when you think of Black Moon, after that album, what can you hone in on? Like, yeah, that was they dope shit. Everything else, it goes back to boot camp clique. So it's like, for me, I can't think of them again until I seen, what's his name, Buckshot on that joint with Rakim. I think it was Rakim, KRS, and Kanye.
Oh, wow. Classic?
Yeah, it's like, wow.
I thought, or are you talking about the one where they, because the record cover has the letters from the train?
No, classic. You call it classic. I mean,
damn.
I know he had other joints in between there.
Yeah, Buckshot wasn't on classic.
Yeah.
You talking about
there you go.
No joke.
But it's like it was just that long, man, between when the first album, when it came out with some more shit that I can't call it with them dudes, man. If I think of Black Moon, I'm only thinking of the first album. I looked it up, I was like, damn, I didn't even know they had that joint.
So it's
like everything after that was like boot camp click for me. It wasn't Black Moon, it wasn't Buckshot no more.
Yeah, and that's true that there was a huge gap, because I want to say how many MCs came out in 91. I think the album dropped like 92, 93. That second album with 2 turntables and a mic didn't drop to like 97, 96.
Exactly.
It was
nowhere near the level of the first joint either.
That was trash.
I mean, that second album wasn't that bad. I mean, it was
trash.
It was trash.
It was trash, man. Trash bag. Black jawn. Trash bag.
I was trying
man. I mean, let's put it this way, Kel. I had to look it up. I did not know the name of the album. I couldn't think of any songs off the album, nothing. That's what I mean. It's like, when I try to think of something after the first joint, my mind went straight to that most recent shit, which is just like, what, 4 or 5 years old, if that? Man, that's a long time, man. It's a long time. So, yeah, I got to see Black Moon, man.
Nah, I feel you. And I mean, because the second album, I mean, waiting for a year, thinking you're going to get something. But I think in that time span, if I'm not mistaken, I thought they kind of broke up or whatever. Like the beat.
What happened was 5 Foot Shorty got locked up.
Yeah.
He was locked on during the first. I mean, like
he got out and got locked right the fuck back up.
The sad part was, dude really was never really part of the group anyway. So But I thought it was something between funk and R&B. So I think the same thing in most times with hip hop. By the time people reconnect, so much time has passed that it's almost like, folks really. I thought the album was alright. Obviously, I'm outvoted on there. They had a crazy joint on there with MOP that was crazy, and they had a joint there with
that was the only joint I knew of for that album like that. Like, okay, I remember that shit. Yeah. Everything else I had to listen to it again. Like, damn, I don't remember this joint.
Yeah,
so that's just a lot. Man.
I can't even remember the name of the second album. I'm trying to figure it out now.
Me neither.
Babe, which one of your joints, man?
One of my joints is Smooth the Hustler.
Okay.
I remember when he came out, he had he had Broken Language.
Mm-hmm.
He had My Brother My Ace. Yep. Once Upon a Time was dope.
Yep.
Hustler's Theme was dope. Yep. There was this whole thing with the MOP sound alike, blah blah blah. I never really bought that because they were kind of more on a higher skill level as far as lyrics go. I could see where those comparisons was, but I never really thought of Smooth the Hustler and his brother as being MOP wannabes or whatever. But I don't know what happened after that. I don't know if he released another album. I did see him after that. I worked at. Here's a quick story. I worked at Sneaker Stadium on Fulton. Is where the Barclay is. Before it was Models or whatever it changed to. During the summer, so I'm working in there pushing fucking sneakers and shit. And this is what 90. Like, when did Pun's album come out?
97.
His debut.
97.
97. So this is like 97. I think Smooth the Hustler joint came out like what?
95. 95.
So who walks in? Fucking Smooth the Hustler, and I'm looking like, man, where the fuck is your next album? Like, are you signed or like? No, you can't have no Jordans, nigga. What the fuck? What's going on? Look bad or nothing. He just looked like whatever. But I felt like he was one of those dudes that I kind of looked at on that Big L level. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where you like, man, this dude really cares about his lyrics. Like, he thinks a lot about how them shits are formed, and you know what I'm saying, and everything. So I don't know why. I didn't look around to see if he ever had another album. I know his brother did, and a couple of affiliates, but Smooth.
Who was his brother?
Trigger the Gambler.
Trigger the Gambler.
Oh, word. Oh my God.
Yeah, they used to murder shit. Come on, Beezo.
Yeah, I forgot about Trigger. Word.
Yeah, that Broken Language shit was hot, but it was like, damn, that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see a reason why there was never really a second album unless there's some untold story that I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I know with Trigger got signed to Def Jam. He had a joint on one of them Nutty Professor soundtracks. I actually rocked the joint. My crew to go for that joint.
Oh, that was on that. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a banger.
That was dope. But I think Trigger got caught up in the Def Jam loop. I don't know whatever happened. Last I heard from Smooth, one of my peoples, like back in the MySpace days when Cass was linking up with MCs on MySpace and would like pay an MC X amount of dollars to get on a project. Smooth got on that, and he was nasty on it. So, like you said, I don't know what happened to boy. Like, why it would have came out. This would be great because I'm gonna try to shout out. I'm gonna try to get at them on Twitter to maybe even get on and chop it up about some of these, because most of these joints are kind of like a mystery, like what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, damn mystery.
Well, with names like Smooth the Hustler and Trigger the Gambler, that life caught up to them cats. So
shoot, Beezo crazy.
True indeed. Rack, which one of your joints, dude?
East Flatbush Project, man. They did the Jawn Tribe by 12, Carried by 6.
Oh wow!
They just dropped a single, but I never saw an album from these dudes. And it was one of those joints you would hear on the pirate stations, you hear on PRB. Ski Ran used to play that joint on the radio a lot down the Philly, Jersey area. But that was it. It's just one of them hood classics that you may hear somebody bang, and you knew it was crazy, and you sitting there salivating, waiting for something, but you didn't hear shit else.
Damn.
And what's the name of this crew again?
It's one dude, and it's called the East Flatbush Project, and the song is called Tribe by 12, Carried by 6. It's got a I don't want to describe the sample. I'm probably gonna do a terrible job, but it uses the same drums from I Got a Story to Tell.
Okay.
And it's just when you hear it, you're gonna be just like,
that's crazy. I never even heard of that joint.
Dude's from Brooklyn. He's got that serious West Indian accent, but he's spitting some shit. He basically telling a story about how he'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6.
Right.
So just listen to it, and when you hear it, you're gonna be like, "Yo, what the fuck happened to this dude?" Because nobody fucking knows.
All right, I gotta look at it.
Shit's a banger. Matter of fact, like I told B, I had to go back and do some stuff for the mix. I'll throw it on there.
All right, no doubt. Now, for a lot of mine, I had a lot of ties, man. I had a lot of stuff that I couldn't even. There's so many of them to me. Number 5, I got a tie between 2 groups. The first group is this group called Ziggy.
Ooh, wow, you pulled that out.
They had 2 of my favorite joints, 92, freshman year at Morgan. I think those songs kind of just correlate with me. They had Toss It Up and
the Uptown Bounce.
Yeah, I mean, and both of them joints to me was just crazy. You know, to me, that was the last bit of dancing in hip hop being cool, because they used to have their routines and they'd be killing it.
Yeah.
But then, like right after that, like boom, heinekens came in, and then I think once heinekens got imported into hip hop, like, there was no more dancing after that. It was like there was no heinekens. It was like no alcohol. Then heinekens came into the world. I don't know what you know how they flooded crack in our neighborhood. Somehow German people flooded Heineken, and it was like no more fucking dancing. Like, but they were like, they had to, if you've never seen the videos, you know, cats watching, Google those YouTube, Raking in the Dough.
Yes.
That was a dope joint right there, Raking in the Dough.
Yes. That was my joint. And then being in love with Polo, for cats who know, like they were like low life out. Every they videos was Polo, you know, so even I was just watching the video last night, like, God, I wish I would have kept some of my stuff from back in the 90s. Like, you know what I mean? So
you've been the illest cat right now.
That's Ziggy. We're Raking in the Dough in that joint. And then the other joint, Ill and Al Scratch.
Oh, man.
Now, I see Rec laughing.
I fuck with them so hard, it's a shame.
But yo, creep with me and come around my way.
Yeah, it was over.
Thing was crazy. I mean, the whole thing songy with the raspy voice.
Yeah.
Come around my way with my homies was my shit.
The Brian McKnight joint was tough. If you don't take it, I'll take my time.
Oh yeah, forgot about
that joint was crazy, and they charted with all of them shits.
Yeah, now here's the crazy thing, because a lot of these joints I got an asterisk by, because during these times, I was up at 88.9, up at the radio station, so I was hearing a lot of little backstories and everything. What I heard about Ill and Al Scratch is that the label really wasn't ready for them to blow the way they did, so that the label gave them dudes 7 days to make an album. Like, yo, this single is incredible, y'all gotta get something out like now. You know what I mean? And it's so funny because to this day, like even when I do a project, you know, not now because everything is streaming, but like when me and Vague would do projects, I'd be like, I don't want to drop a single until the album's done. Like that just stuck in my mind. Like a label would do you like that. Like, yo, like I don't even want to turn nothing into a label until the album's done. So just in case it blows. But that was the reason why the album wasn't as good as what I think most people thought it was going to be, because they only had 7 days to get it done. But but
it wasn't bad though. It wasn't a bad album.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but I know I was expecting more. You know what I mean? Because they had dope beats. I think the boy,
the beats was tough
for them. I mean, you know, they had like that dude. I think it was Big Ill from Brooklyn and Al Scratch from Harlem. So I forgot which one had the ill voice, but one of them had that ill gruffy voice. You know, so I thought them dudes was dope. So that's my number 5. Ziggy and Ill and Al Scratch. Beezo, what's another one of your joints, B?
Yeah, it's funny because Ill and Al Scratch is one of them for me. But I go with them cats All City, man.
Oh,
woo! You know what I mean? The
All
first
City
few
crew.
singles, what's his name? Primo did in that first joint. Oh man, that was my joint, man. Them dudes they like, for me at that time in hip hop, I don't remember who was really hot, what was going on, but for some reason, it just stood out to me back in that time that they was like, they epitomized like New York cats, New York hood cats, like Wu-Tang epitomized like straight New York hip hop, and just hip hop, just like New York slang, the whole line. Them cats, man, All City, the way they flowed, on that first joint. I couldn't remember the name. I thought I had it in my iTunes, but I couldn't find the name.
Metropolis Gold.
Yeah.
Metropolis Gold. That's it.
Yeah.
That single, man.
Still got the wax too.
Shit. Yo.
That shit was crazy for me. And the B-side was dope. P Rock did the B-side.
Right. Priceless.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'll jump into them because they're my number 4 too. They're my number 4. J Meg and Greg Valentine. Again, another funny story. These dudes came through the station to promote the album, and I want to say little short dude was Greg Valentine. We was showing in the office. He was like, "Yo, Kill." I was like, "What's up?" He was like, "Yo, next album I want to start singing." And I was like,
Wait, like on some Ja Rule type shit, or just like?
No. This was on some old. This was before him.
No, this was before them, but I mean, like he wanted to sing over the rhymes, or
he wanted to sing and rhyme like what Drake is doing. But keep in mind, this is '98, so this.
Yeah, I said he was ahead of it.
Oh man,
in hip hop, and I'm just looking at dude like, yo, how do I not bust out laughing in this dude's face like he talking about singing? But looking back on it, it was dope to me because he was doing it because I guess the boy wanted to sing. Like he had a passion for singing, and he was just like, I want to sing in my joints. And I'm like, yo, I don't know how the singing gonna sound over these type beats. But then it just see it come full circle. Now, you know, rappers sing more than they, you know.
I don't think it would have flown back in them days though.
Nah, hell no.
You know what? The funny thing is that everything in life, especially in the industry, is about timing. Because I remember seeing the Heavy D Don't Curse video, and when Kane had the silk shirt on, I'm like, yo, what is fucking with this nigga? Like, why you got a shirt on?
Well, Kane was always a wild dude.
But here's the thing, two things. See, growing up, I always thought that rappers were my age. So I didn't even realize Kane is already 5-6 years older than me anyway. You know what I mean? But then on top of that, you fast forward 4 or 5 years, and now you got Jay-Z wearing a silk shirt, holding a bottle of champagne. You know, so Kane is looking like, yo, what the fuck? I did that. Y'all laughed at me. Timing wasn't right, my brother. Like, you know,
that means everything, man.
You look at everybody else in the Don't Curse video, they still hill figured, you know, jean shorts, and then here this dude come in with, with a purple silk shirt on.
You know what though? It's funny you bring Kane up though, because there was an award show. I think it was a BET award show back in the day when him and Scoop and Scrap came out there, and them cats, it was like, yo, why are they dressed like pilgrims? The next day, that's all everybody was saying. It looked like a bunch of pilgrims up there with the outfits. They had like swashbuckling shoes on or some crazy shit. Kane was always on some left field shit, man. I seen that nigga at the rooftop roller rink when he just rhyming with Biz, and I think Raw was his only joint that was out. He had on the Dapper Dan Louis Vuitton suit, and on now if you've never been to the rooftop, it's a roller skating rink. It ain't that big, and the stage is like maybe a foot off the ground on the wall over there. It ain't that big itself. This nigga straight dropped his pants and was wearing bikini briefs. It started like humping the mic stand. It's like, oh, this nigga's different, man. This nigga's different.
He was for the ladies, man. He was for the shorties.
Kane's he was always on some different left field shit.
He said it's a bikini brief.
The funny thing is, another little hip hop tidbit from that book, what's it called? Ain't No Half Stepping by Wax Poetics, talking about Latin quarters. I always thought Scoob was Kane's homeboy from around the way. Come to find out, Scoob used to dance at Latin quarters, and then that's how those two connected like that. So I found that out in the book or whatever like that. So
yeah, I gotta cop that book, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got it. It's an amazing book. Definitely dope. Hey, what's another one of your joints, Vic?
All right. Another one of my joints is OC. I feel like with OC, everybody always think about the Word Life album and Time's Up. Like there was a moment where that's all I thought about. But you know, the Jules album was dope.
Jules was crazy. Album was dope.
And he's actually released some recent shit that's really
good. Something. Yeah, I'm saying he dropped something.
Yeah, like literally.
He did. Like about 2-3 weeks ago.
It's crazy too. There's some joints on there too.
Yeah, I'm gonna cop that shit.
And he also released a project I think with Apollo Brown called Trophies.
Yeah, that one was dope too. I got that. That shit's hard.
You know what I'm saying? And I always wondered, like you know, for example, like with Jewel's being his second album, he had a lot of hot shit on there. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like it was better than the first album, but niggas just didn't give a shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a lot of niggas that ignored it, and I didn't understand that because I was like, damn, this shit with Pharoahe Monch is hot. You know what I'm saying? The little single was hot. What was that shit?
That was
Fudge.
Nah, that was the joint.
Nah, that was organized Fudge Punch, John.
Yeah, I mean, but that shit right there, that's a hell of an intro to the rap game right there.
Motherfucking right.
Yeah.
That was my shit.
I was called Far From
You. The Far From You. That Jewel's joint was crazy, man. I was like you. I liked it better than Word Life. I mean,
isn't there a joint with Jay-Z on there too?
Nah, not on Jewel. Jewel's got
Word Life. He got some joint with Jay-Z.
He got like My World, Primo Diddy.
Yeah, My World.
Dangerous with Big L.
Dangerous with Big L. Win the G with Bumpy Knuckles. I want to say like Primo did 4 or 5. The Beat Miners did some.
Yeah, he got some solid production on that shit.
But wow, this is a solid joint. And like you said, Veg, I don't know why, but
what label was that?
Come out. What happened?
What label is that?
That's Payday. Back when Payday was dope. With Mr.
That might be. Because it's funny, Kel. I don't know if you remember back in the day when Roots threw a party, and Mobb Deep performed, OC was supposed to perform. And that's back when K was doing shit. So K opened up that show, but K was tossed off his ass. The whole shit went crazy. It was a big fight. Shit got shut down early or whatever. But we was in the back chopping it up with OC, and that's when we was staying in Philly. Mm-hmm. So he was like, the next weekend he got a show out in Philly. Come check him out. So we get, same numbers. Went out there, linked up with him in Philly. Yo, we must have chopped it up with that nigga for hours, just drinking Henny and blazing or whatever. Dude was mad peace. So that was one of the coolest, most laid back, like, because at the time, to me, he was one of them. Because I told him, like, yo, to me, I look at you when I see like possibly like the next Rakim type of nigga, because he had the voice, he had the lyrics, he had the flow, and then like I said, when he came out with Organized Confusion with that joint Fudge Pudge, I'm like, yo, he made the ill interest into the game. I was expecting OC to be around for dumb long.
Yeah.
I think it was one of them joints where he just didn't have the right people pushing him at the label. And then he seemed like that type of dude where he just wanted to spit. I mean, he just wanted to be an MC. He didn't want to have to deal with all the extra BS, you know what I'm saying, of the industry. And I think that, now I'm not saying for sure, but just from my observation of building with that nigga, like, it seemed to me like he was just about his craft. He didn't want to deal with none of that industry BS. And I guess maybe the people, working for him, behind him, just wasn't pushing the stuff enough, man, because he should have been around for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
You could hear that in his music. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that he's really into his lyrics and making the music, because like I'm looking on Spotify right now and I'm seeing albums I didn't even know came out. Like there was a period there where he released a couple of joints. Like he's basically never stopped. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Just dropping shit, but we don't catch him because, like you said, they don't got the machine behind them.
But the wild part is Vegas don't catch it. Vegas catch everything.
Don't get me wrong. I saw a couple of covers, but I'm a victim of being a fan too. Where I'm looking like I ain't listen to that shit. Until I hear him, then I'm like, yo,
like fuck, like damn, my bad.
Yeah, and even with me, I think even the OC ones I would hear, for some reason, like the production just would never catch me. You know what I'm saying? And for me, at least, if the production don't catch me, then 9 times out of 10, I ain't even hearing, what you're saying or whatever like that. And I don't know if I don't know when, I don't know if, DITC was still producing for him. I don't know what happened. Like, I know this new project, some new dude produced for him. I haven't even had a chance. It ain't even cracked the rotation yet, but I definitely.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
I'm gonna listen to it tonight.
He's still down with DITC because they was the ones pushing, the release date and all that, dropping little snippets and all that. So he stayed down with them.
All right, I'll definitely check it out. Rec, what's another one of yours, B?
I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, man. I'm Channel Live, man. I expected a lot more from these cats. One of the cats is from around my way. I didn't know this until I got a little older. One of my old heads put me onto it. He graduated high school with him. And then they moved out to the Bronx or whatever and started recording. But that first album was the Station Identification, I think it was.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy, man. You had the Mad Ism joint. It was just I expected more, being they had the little backing from KRS-One. I thought that the second album was gonna be on point. Second album fizzled, and you never heard from them again. So Channel Live for me, man, I expected a lot more. I thought they was gonna be around for a hot one.
Yeah, the funny thing, I wasn't even in love with the station identification. I was kind of let down because
I liked it.
When I heard Mad-ism, I was like, man, that's kind of dope. You know, that's easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just even nothing else off of that album even popped like that. I don't even know if they even got a second single or anything.
I don't think they did.
You know, so
I don't think they did.
But yeah, I had them down as one of my honorable mention boards because Mad-ism was bananas back then.
One dude is still run with KRS too. The dude Shafiyq.
Yeah.
He still run. He like a teacher or some shit up in the Bronx. He got a bunch of programs. There's a couple of dudes I know. Actually, one of the programs me and my man did in Newark some years ago.
Yep.
He actually participated in that shit on the back end. But
you talking about Hakeem.
Hakeem, that's it, my bad. Hakeem Green. Yeah.
It's Hakeem and Tuffy. And Tuffy is from Tuffy's from Willenboro.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that because he's older than me. But I didn't know that when my old heads was like, yeah, he graduated high school with him. I'm like, oh shit. So
I think man, we're rolling with KRS right now. Really don't hold as much weight as it did.
Well, you gotta remember this. You gotta remember this. This is 93, 94.
I know
Return to the Boom Bap is out. You know what I'm saying? So
Beezo was like, yeah, he still rolled KRS. Like,
the only reason I know that is KRS was on Drink Champs with Nori, and Hakeem showed up at the end of the joint. I'm like, oh shit, he's still running with this cat, but he seemed like he was almost working for KRS type shit, like handing him his cell phone or something. Like, you got to call D. Like, I don't know, you know how authentic it is, but he's still running with him.
It's too old for that shit.
Yo, you know what's crazy?
Paycheck, that easy pay.
I guess so, man.
Love that. When I came back to Strictly Hip Hop, maybe whatever, it was a year ago, whatever it was, and I was going, I was getting the charting back for the show. So I can't remember what promotions it was, but they were promoting. They had like a Mad-ism 2014 or some shit like that, right? So I was looking at it and I didn't want to hit play because I'm like, nah, I don't want to be the old head. Back to the show, like, nah, y'all listen to this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I charted it, but I didn't play it. And this nigga hit me up directly, the dude from the group. And he was like kind of hounding, like, yo, I could do an interview, I could come through and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, damn, man, this is fucked up because, again, remember when I said I worked at Sneaker Stadium? I saw him also.
Right.
Rollerblading up and down the street. And I was like, this nigga on rollerblades, man, fuck this rap shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Smooth the Hustler coming in here. He ain't got an album out now. The Mad-ism dude on rollerblades, on Fulton and shit. It's like,
oh, he was rollerblading.
Yeah, that's some shit. I see you rollerblading, man. We're gonna have to talk.
Yeah, that's it. I done hung it up, boy. You see me out here rollerblading. Well, it's over. Damn, son.
All right. I already talked about All City with Megan Valentine. So who you got left? Or who you got at number 3?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. It was kind of hard, man, but I'm gonna go with Royal Flush, man. I was really digging that.
That's a good one.
Lifestyle Medallions was my shit. You know what I mean? That shit was crazy, and I just thought, again, wasn't he down with Irv Gotti? Wasn't the Irv's like first? Him and Mike Geronimo and them was all like one.
Yeah,
and that was actually I was gonna say Geronimo as well. It was kind of them two. I was a tosser between Mike Geronimo and Royal Flush, but for me, I know Mad Cats loved Mike Geronimo. I was never a huge fan of the cat. I always thought he was mediocre at best. But Royal Flush was something about his flow and his voice, man. I rocked with that cat, man. Ice Down Medallions with Nori on the hook. That was my shit, man. So I was expecting some big things from that cat, man. And I don't know. He had one, maybe 2 more joints after that. I don't even know if he ever released the album.
No.
He did. He got an album.
Yeah,
he got an album.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, my joint on here was the worldwide joint. That was crazy. Like you said, Ice Out Medallions, even
very good pick.
Yeah, making moves. Yeah, this was
very good pick.
He had a future ahead of him. I have no idea what happened to him, but just another one of them industry casualty niggas.
Tell you, man, the 90s was good, but the 90s fucked some shit up too.
Yeah. The crazy thing with Flush is he was on Peace. not is it last time he was on Pete's New York Finest on his joint called Questions
and murdered that shit.
Yeah.
He's talking about how he divorced his chick.
That's right.
That Pete gave to Ray on Only Built for Cuban Links 2. They both had the same beat. I guess Pete was like, fuck it, it's my album. So
yeah.
I mean, I can get, I guess Ray wanted the same beat, but I thought Flush killed it. It's like that dude had missed a beat. Cause I mean, that nigga, he said, what he said? He said, I don't write rhymes. I write God, what did he say, man?
I said something. I just know he was angry the whole 16.
I was like, God, I gotta Google it now. But he said something that I was like, damn, like I don't write rhymes, I write something. I gotta find it. But yeah, Royal Flush, that's definitely a dope on that joint. That's definitely a dope joint on that. Vay, who you got next, man?
All right, the next one I actually just added this person because talking about all of this just kind of brought it up. But I got Sauce Money.
Oh.
That was a dude where between the mixtapes,
yes,
and him and Jay-Z, it was just kind of like one and the same. Like, yo, both of them are crazy nice. They're killing these freestyles. They even dissed Tupac after he was dead. This shit is hard. Wait for this nigga album to come out, and then it took mad long for that album to come out. You know what I'm saying? And when it came. Just like some of the other people we named, it was almost like it came without any real steam behind it. Mm-hmm. Except for shit like Pregame, which was crazy.
Pregame was stupid. That was
you got the album in there.
Yeah, I got it.
Kill got that. Kill pulls albums out his ass.
Of that mother.
The middle finger you
copy because that shit is a fucking artifact.
Nah, you can find that shit. You can find that, John.
Now, I was doing some research. This can't be right, but I'm not gonna hit play. But it looked like I found the album from 2017. This shit can't be real.
The Sauce Money? Wow.
Yeah, look at this. Oh damn! I pressed the button. I fucked it up. My bad.
But nah. It's funny that you named Sauce. Sauce is actually he's on here somewhere. He's my number 3. Sauce is tied with somebody else from number.
Yeah, Sauce Money was crazy.
Yo, you want some funny shit though? On the low,
B and Beezo probably got some stories about Sauce.
Yeah, Roots was Roots like grew up with him, so DJ'd his wedding and some shit like that. And his demo that he got signed to Rockefeller from Roots, one of my joints. I got a joint on there that Roots gave him or whatever. But he wrote "Missing You" for Puff.
Right.
Yeah.
And never got paid for the shit. And it was like, from what I think it was Roots was telling me the story, that Jay had to have a meeting with Puff with Sauce in there, like yo, you got to break him off something. Like, come on. It was like dumb years later, and it was millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars at the very least that Puff owed him, and he just wasn't paying the cat, man. And it wasn't until Jay stepped in and mediated. And I don't think he ever got full amount, but Puff had to break him off something.
That's
so
fucking crazy.
He's an older cat too, to on the low. Like he was never when he came in the game. He was like almost in his 30s, I believe.
Yo, the funny thing about Sauce and B, I didn't get the breakdown of the beats, but I was in Roots' crib once in Queens, probably 90, 96, 97, and he played me a Sauce album that he had done, and maybe some of your joints was on there. Fucking stupid. I'm talking 5 mic stupid, because we already know anybody who's ever heard Sauce knows Sauce.
Oh yeah, Sauce fire as fuck.
The only thing that could have prevented it from being an incredible album is the beats. Yo, I was just in Roots' crib like, yo, when is this coming out? The crazy thing is I was speaking to Sauce on Twitter the other day, because every day I post whatever I'm listening to, and I had posted the Middle Finger You joint and tagged him in it. We was talking about Roots for a minute, but yo, that shit is crazy. Here's another funny story about Sauce.
That's crazy.
Y'all have the Soul in the Whole soundtrack.
Yep, got it.
Track on there that Primo did. I'll never forget, Beezo. Roots came to the station, played me and Ray and other niggas a beat that Primo had sent Sauce, and we was all sitting there like, we ain't feeling it. And Roots is like, yo, how the fuck y'all want me to go home and tell Primo? Like, I don't know how to tell a nigga, but
oh shit,
that ain't it. You know what I mean? And then Roots came back a couple of weeks later with the joint that made it, with the Watch Out for Your Friend He came back with that. We was like, now that's that shit. That's that shit. The funniest thing is, I gotta find it, but that beat that we didn't like ended up making it on Moment of Truth, the Gangstar album.
Oh shit!
And I'm gonna find it, but to this day, I still don't like this beat. I don't care if it's on. It don't matter to me. But it's not Above the Clouds. It's not B.I. versus Friendship. It's not Work. It's not Royal. It's none of those joints.
Yeah, but what on that album don't you like? Not to be sidetracked, but that's a fucking banger.
There's a couple. Primo's always good for like one or two. Like,
there's no filler on that album.
I'll find it. There's a lot of things. Like I had to come back with course. What Flush said was, nigga, I write commandments.
Yes.
So the way he said that was just dope. He was like, nigga, I don't write rhymes, I write commandments. I was like, God damn. Commandments, you know? So that was that. I'm gonna come back when I find the Gangstar joint. But but Source, man, that I think that would just be crazy. Cause Source, like you said, pregame Vegas to this day. Oh my God. That joint, I could listen to that just for hours on at a time. And the nigga went bar for bar with Jay-Z. Like it was it was no fault. Yes. It was no like, oh damn, here comes Source. In fact, I probably like Source on pregame more than I like Jay.
Yeah, there was definitely a couple of freestyles where it was extremely debatable and niggas was just like, you know, the nigga said, you think I'm Chinese the way niggas duck sauce. I mean, with that line. Like, you know
shit.
Yo, and even the joint that was on the In My Lifetime album, the joint, what's this? Face Off.
Face Off.
Yeah,
he murdered that too.
Yeah, he murdered that. All right, Rec, who you got, man?
All right, man. YZ, man. I'm in control of things, thinking of a master plan so far. Acid Rain. Yo, I really was rooting for this dude, man. He was from Jersey. He was cool with a couple of cats from around my way. So you know, you see him every now and then. He perform at the picnics and shit. You know, the jazz festival Willenboro has. So I was really rooting for that dude, man. And I just think he got either caught up in the game, the hustle and bustle of the shit, or he just lost his love.
Yo,
but I still bang all his shit. All his shit. I've never stopped banging YZ, man. Like his shit is classic.
Couple of things cats may not know about YZ. One, him and Gangstar had beef.
Oh, word.
Because
I remember that.
In Control of Things has that same sample that used for No More Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah.
So on God, y'all know my brain. Take It Personal. When Guru was like, rap is an art, you can't own no roots. He's talking to YZ. You know? So that's a little bit. Another thing, D Nice had a series out back in the day called I forgot what it was called, but it's a video series. If you just YouTube D Nice and YZ, it should come up. YZ went deaf.
He's definitely there.
And he's just a video just about like, you know, being in studios with music blasting and headphones on and everything like that. He did have a second little EP out, but it wasn't, you know, anything like, you know, In Control of Things. Because this joint right here, this joint got Tower. Oh man, and especially if you was in Philly and South Jersey, like
yes, sir. That shit was crazy, man.
Yeah, Tony D, God bless the dead.
Yeah, rest in peace.
An ill producer out of South Jersey. Well, my number 3 was Ty. We already talked about Source. I'm gonna talk about another MC, and again, this is the backstory of it. It's 92, 93. My old head goes to Howard. I'm always down at Howard, and he puts me onto these niggas in his crew. This nigga's name is L Rock. He's from Philly, and I'm like, yo, this dude to this day, I still have L Rock's demos. This dude is so nasty. He's a problem. I would play his shit for people from Brooklyn, New York, wherever. They'd be like, oh my God, this nigga L Rock is a fucking problem. So this is one of them dudes that you're always like, yo, he should have been signed. We all know somebody who should have been signed. Like it was like, yo, L Rock should have been signed. Niggas, word gets to air. Now that's 93. Word gets to air. L Rock finally gets signed in 97. They send me the vinyl. I put it on the turntable at EA, and I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? Come to find out, L Rock has now become Tracy Lee.
Hell yeah. Oh. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Now,
hell yeah.
I understand firsthand because a lot of cats don't know. Me and Cassidy grew up on the same block. Like literally.
Oh, that's what's up.
literally you can look out my door and see Cassidy's door. Like Cassidy used to come over my crib, you know, to get beats when he first got started. And Cassidy was a battle rapper for a lot of people. I mean, we all know he was a battle rapper, but I mean, like, he used to, niggas would come in our hood just to battle. Like, this was an everyday thing. This nigga assassinating people. So when Hotel came out, you could only, you know, maybe even think about the shot that I'm in. Like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like, Hotel, my nigga, like, you know. But that's what the industry does. You need to sell records, you know, because it was just like, you know, I'm bragging, and I know a lot of Brooklyn niggas love Fab. I didn't like Fab when he first came out. I've now learned to love Fab because he's nasty, but it was I like Breathe Fab. And I felt like it was the same thing. Like, Brooklyn niggas was always telling me about Fab, and then I'm like, this nigga out here with the Little Mo Superwoman nigga. Like, you gotta listen to the mixtape Fab. You gotta listen to the Clue Fab. Like, that's kind of what I felt about Tracy Lee. Like, yo,
I got a Fab story for you too, man.
All right, we can tell Fab story. Just don't, Vegas, you be fucking up hip history. Fab be telling stories like Fab ain't ever wrote no rhyme. You ain't heard.
Oh, shit. Not like that.
So I gotta be careful with your story. My stories are stories be like, you know, Big ain't never write shit before. So you're
like, hold up, I knew a nigga in the studio. Big ain't write that. Nah,
I don't get. All right, we'll get there in a minute. But like Tracy Lee, like, most people haven't heard the album. It's a very dope album. It's a song called "Stars in the East" with this group One Step Beyond. They were bananas. You know, he had to join on there, Keep Your Hands High with Big.
Yes, sir.
Went toe to toe with Big. Like, again, I ain't saying he was better than Big, but yo, there wasn't no drop off because they were doing like an EPMD flow, like a back and forth. And when Trey came in, it wasn't like, you know, this nigga. Yo, Tracy Lee is nice. I know a lot of people look at the theme like, oh, that old everywhere than my Kruger, man. Come on. But outside of that, yo,
he had to draw with Busta Rhymes too. Don't forget, Busta was on the album too.
Yeah, he got Tracy Lee had some bangers. We actually follow each other on Twitter. He's a lawyer now. He's like a industry lawyer. Him and his wife do like kid books. And he still rhymes. You know what I mean? So, you know, definitely look that nigga up. But trust me, when I tell you Tracy Lee, L Rock was a problem. Oh my.
L Rock, wow. I was wondering where you was going with this too. I'm like, L Rock, Philly. Who the fuck you talking about?
Who was a problem? But babe, what's your Fab story?
All right, so before Fab got on, right, and this is probably like late 90s, maybe not, because I don't remember exactly when he first came out or started on the Clue tapes, but it wasn't too far from when that happened. This is when I was like, you know, I was getting ready to graduate Morgan, but I was making somewhat of an attempt to get a record deal, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, well, I'm gonna make a real demo and all this. So I was going hard with the rap shit. And I remember being in BK in Crown Heights, and my man Jay, you know what I'm saying, was like, yeah, you know, my cousin be talking about this nigga in Brevoy who nice and shit, and I be telling you nice, y'all niggas should battle. His name is Fabulous Sports. So I'm like, I don't fuck, whatever.
This nigga's name was Fabulous Sports.
His name was Sport. They called him Sport. When he spelled his name in his freestyle, they just took it and called him Fabulous.
Yeah. Originally, it was like Fabulous Sport, and you know, I didn't give a fuck. It was like whatever. So it was going to happen, but it just never played out. But it was funny how, you know, not too long after that, I started hearing him on the radio and shit like that, and I was like, that's the nigga I was supposed to battle, right? Like, man, obviously, I was like, fuck that rap shit. I'm gonna go fucking get radio money, because
right. Nah, I feel you. All right, what's your number, man?
I'm gonna go to Philly with this shit. Schoolie D, man. So, I mean, I'm an old head. I just turned 46 in January, so I can think back. I remember when his first two joints, PSK, and I always forget the second joint, man, over the B side of that shit. But both of them joints with the whack ass graffiti on the album cover, I mean on the label, the joints was crazy. And of course, you know, that beat from PSK was it Big used it, Case used it or whatever. Yeah, that's a classic joint. And I know he did have an album, but never heard from him again. But there's this joint, the documentary on Netflix now, Evolution of Hip Hop, and there's a scene where he's interviewing. It's like, in order to do the interview, the cat had to bring him a velvet cake or some shit like that. Velvet cake. Listen,
He got him a cake.
Yeah, when he got him a cake, come in the crib and he's rocking Tim's and a trench coat in the crib, doing an interview on a like futon leather sofa or some shit. Like, yo, this cat is as wild as his music was back. And that's the thing I loved about it. A lot of people don't, and I always give Philly credit. Man. I always give Philly much respect because before the West Coast was popping, before down south was popping, before even Jersey hip hop was popping, Philly was the second spot outside of New York that was busting most popular hip hop. People don't seem to realize that, man. And you can say whatever you want about these other regions, but it was New York and then Philly and then everybody else at one time. Between what's his name? What's the cat that got caught up in the bank robbery and shit? Kool C and the other cats. Steady B. And Tap Money is one of the illest DJs you've ever seen in your life live. Same thing with Jazzy Jeff, one of the illest DJs you will ever see live. So much respect to Philly. I always have respect for Philly hip hop, but he was, to me, really one of the first gangster rappers, man. Was
Ice-T.
Yeah, that's what Ice-T said.
Yeah, I mean, he was probably the first one, man. I mean, it really, because I mean, you had other dudes that would one or two lines and shit where they might say some gully shit, but nah, Schoolie D's whole shit. And PSK, I mean, that's what it was. What is it? Park something, whatever Killers. Parkside Killers. So, I mean, just to tell song title alone, that you know, yeah, he's not playing. You know what I mean? With his red velvet cakes and shit, man. But yeah, Schoolie D was that dude, man.
True indeed, man. Me being, that's what I grew up on. I can remember, you know, because he had Parkside too. You know, and I'd be like, yo, what's that? It's like Parkside is out West Philly. I'd be like, yo, mom, take me. It's so funny. I was such a hip hop kid. I just wanted to go. I'm like, take me to 50 seconds. In a gas station, like, nigga, we want to like, man, like, you know, like Schoolie D's gonna be there, like that nigga's a statue, like, you know. That's how I would always be. Like, I'd be like, yo, take me to the hilltop, take me anywhere I rhymes. Like, you know, I used to spend every summer in Brooklyn from like first grade to ninth grade, and I'd get the subway mad. Now I'd fucking be circling, I'd be like Hollis, Farmers Boulevard, you know, like I want to do it all. Like, you know, I'd be on the map, like, yo, and I'd be telling my cousins, let's go. Like, niggas be like, yo, what's these statues?
Oh, shit.
I want to go to Farmers Boulevard.
Like, oh, shit.
This nigga trying to go to the 40 houses in South Jamaica.
Yeah, right? Fuck that.
Work for the MC, I'd be like, yo, take me to that scene in Beach Street where they was doing the flips. Like, that's where I want to go when I'm in New York. Like, I don't want to see no goddamn Staten Island Ferry.
Yeah.
Take me to that subway station. So,
Yeah.
and the crazy thing, he had a couple albums out.
Shit.
But even in those days, it was so much about the singles still.
Yeah.
Schoolie is 85, 86, so he had PSK, he had Gucci Time.
Gucci Time. That's Gucci Time. Look at my Gucci. It's about that time.
And looking at my Gucci, he had Saturday Night. That's one of my favorites.
Saturday Night. Yeah. Word.
I'm gonna have to go back and check this. I'm gonna have to go back and check
That's it. That's it.
Schoolie had some joints, man. So yeah.
Schoolie D. You know who reminded me of Schoolie D for years and years later? Was Tim Dog, man. When he had the fuck up the joint. You know what I mean? He reminded me. So that's why me and my man used to love that shit for Compton. And Tim Dog, that attitude reminded me.
Died, or did he fake his death?
I heard it, he died, but then someone else told me like, I don't know what that. He was a different dude altogether. Man.
Yeah, I think he like died, but then they was like, he faked it to get rid of taxes or something.
There's some crazy shit behind that one.
Yeah, but you're right. Tim Dog was my dude, man. And Tim Dog, I
remember seeing him performing in DC at one of them hip hop conferences. Yo, we was bugging out on the mad tight black jeans with a black sweatshirt with the high top and the 4-finger ring and the Gucci link chain, screaming, "Fuck Compton, fuck him!" Love that shit, son. Word up, love that shit.
Oh man.
The next group I got another tie. I was supposed to. My bad. Source was actually my number 2, so I gotta go backwards. Was Teflon. He was an MC that was down with MOP.
Oh yeah.
You listen to any of MOP's albums, he's always got a verse on there. He had an album out called My Will. Damn. And I thought it was gonna be bonkers because I'm like, yo, this dude is rolling with Primo, he's rolling with MOP, At that time, Fame started doing beats. The album was whack to me. You know what I mean? He had this one joint on there called The Rawness with MOP. So anybody YouTube, Teflon with MOP, The Rawness, the joint is crazy. But just the album never did nothing. Then he had a mixtape out maybe about 2002, 2003 with Premier that was crazy. I mean, finally had him over some Premier beats that were bonkers, but just nothing ever panned out with the dude. You know what I mean? And a lot of time, like I said, if you've ever heard an MOP album, you've heard Teflon. You may not have known it was Teflon, but trust and believe you heard Teflon. Then my number 2 is staying with Beezo in Philly is 3 Times Dope.
Oh wow, the Nicholas one.
Nicholas one. EST, Chuck Nice and Woody Wood. They had the joint original styling out in '88. And I mean, this was like my theme music through high school. This was finally, because every summer, like I said, I'd be in Brooklyn and I would just get beat up all the time for Philly hip hop. It would just be like, oh, you got them funny acting niggas. You got Will Smith, funny niggas and shit like that. Like, so when, Greatest Man Alive came out, it was like, yo, like I felt like I stick out my chest a little bit. Like, yeah, at least y'all New York niggas know funky dividends. And I mean?
Funky dividends.
Yeah, that shit was classic, man.
Funky.
No, Beezo laughing, but these were dope.
No, I'm laughing because I remember that shit. Like,
oh, okay.
Wow.
That's classic shit. That's classic shit.
From the Giddy Up. They had a second album out, Live from Mac Nicholas Land, but again, it was kind of like the sellout. It was the
week. I mean, yeah. With a title like that, come on, Live from Act Nicholas Land, like, come on, fam.
Aaron was definitely trying to sell some records now. So, and I think,
what
happened?
I gotta defend Fresh Prince real quick though, man, because a lot of people only know him, they think of like Big Willie style, and of course the actor. Right. But on the real,
yeah,
discombobulated, boobulated, whatever the song title was. You guys, if you can find that shit somewhere online.
But that's not Will. Discombobulated boobulator is MC Breeze. It's not Will.
Really?
Yes.
All these years I thought that was Will.
But I will come back to Will's defense. If y'all listen to
but I mean, before they blew, I know I had some shit from Will, because like DNA Hank Love in New York used to play. Like, that was the first time I heard EPMD. It's You're a Customer and all that shit, and it's my thing. And they used to play a Will and Jazzy Jeff shit. I'm like, who is these cats? And then he was like, yeah, they from Philly. The boys from out of Philly. And I'm like, oh, okay, some more Philly niggas. Right. And Will could spit.
Yeah, the joint they got on this album, the Rock the House album. It's a joint. Shit, I'm really bugging. They got a joint up here where they live at Union Square and they kill it. And Will, and Will used to come up, and that's in that book too with Wax Poetic about the Latin Quarters. Will and Jeff used to come up there all the time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, because I think a lot of people just saw Will, his parents just don't understand, which is probably one of the wackest songs.
But that wasn't his. Before he got to that point, he had established, he had enough respect in New York and on the radio and within hip hop at least, of being an LMC. And then, like I said, Jazzy Jeff, man. Yeah. Philly, once Steady Beat came out back in the day, and you had, but them was the first cast I ever heard do a Transformer cut. If you listen to Steady Beat, bring the beat back at the end of that joint, because I don't know, was that Tap Money or Cash Money was his DJ?
It was Tap Money.
Tap Money. Okay, yeah, there you go. But Tap Money at the end to Bring the Beat Back by Steady B does a Transformer cut. It was the first time I ever heard of it. I remember Eddie F showing me that shit. I'm like, damn, what the hell is that? Yo, it's called a Transformer. You just pull the record back and do the mix of the joint real quick, the fader. I'm like, oh shit. And then Philly cats, and Will was amongst that crew of ill Philly rappers back then, way before Parents Don't Understand and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and all that BS, that commercial shit.
Yeah, but 3 Times Dope. So the second album wasn't that dope. They had a joint out called No Words, but it was the remix. If y'all ever Google that, YouTube, 3 Times Dope, No Words, the remix, it was dope. The crazy thing is my man, I don't know if cats even remember this dude, Larry Lair. He was down with
Larry. That's what they call me.
That's damn.
You pulled out Larry Lair.
My man used to dance for Larry Lair. He would be my excuse.
Oh shit.
Like, or whatever like that. So I'd be like, Mom, I'm going to school for Larry Lair. But
that's what they call me.
Larry, that's what they call me. But, he had 3 Times Dope, their third album. It was called Major Flavors. and it was fucking bananas. I don't even got a word for it. It was so fucking crazy, but it never came out. I mean, I'm gonna have to try to reach out to him. We on Facebook and Twitter and all that. I know he can't have it. I mean, this was just the cassette that just, their third album was gonna be next because EST was nice. And again, half the time with these rappers that we're talking about, they were all nice. That's why we're naming them. But so many things, the beats or the industry saying, you gotta make this type of song, or you didn't sell enough albums last time, and now you gotta do this. But I'm telling y'all, this album was crazy, man. I wish that I still had that joint. But that joint, that's my number 2. Beezo, what's your last joint, man?
It was hard for me, man, trying to narrow it down. And I'm gonna name somebody that cats may not have even heard of. I'm gonna date myself too, but this cat, Lord Shafiyq, he had this joint called "My Mic Is on Fire," and I remember the same thing. It was either the Teddy Ted and Special K show or DNA Hank Love played the joint. And if my man Floyd, my man from the Vernon I used to run with, my man Floyd, if he sees this show, he'll know exactly what I'm talking about, because it was quietly one of my favoriteest joints ever heard that nobody ever heard of. He had this one single out, and then it was a B-side. It was on Zakia and 4th and Broadway was the record label was on and shit with the little pyramid on the album cover, whatever. But that was his, I guess you would say, his hottest single, but he definitely never dropped the album. But years later, in Source magazine, when we was down there and we was going to Morgan, the Source was still the Source. They did a poll amongst producers and hip hop cats, asking them like their 5 favorite joints. Mm-hmm. And Primo picked this song. It was one of his 5. It was like number 2 or 3. And I was blown away. So I'm like, the only other cat I ever met or heard that knew this song was my man Floyd. Because we literally listened to this shit that night in his crib, come on the radio, and was in love with it after that. But Primo had this joint too. You get a chance. It's spelled kind of funny. Lord, Shafiyq. My mic is on fire. The joint is crazy though. Man, he used it's a Bob James sample on it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to check for that. Hey, what's your last joint, man?
My last one is Pharoahe Monch as a soloist. I think a lot of people, and honestly, like my brother did this the other day, they really only think about the see, now I'm forgetting the name of the fucking record, the Godzilla joint, the Simon Says.
Right.
They really only think about that. Sometimes they forget that he was even in, probably because he lost all the weight, but that he was even in Organized Confusion. And they really don't know that this dude has just put out really crazy albums recently. In 2000, yeah, like he put out the Desire joint in 2007. 2011 he put out War. In 2014 put out PTSD. Like them shits was crazy.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, like including myself, would consider Eminem like one of the best MCs. But he clearly, and he admitted this, that he got his style from Pharoahe Monch. And when you listen to Pharoahe Monch's rhyme patterns and the way, how he does all this different shit, it's exactly what Eminem does. You know what I'm saying? It's just the subject matter is different.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people slept on this dude, you know what I'm saying? Because I guess once he got the lawsuit situation, that kind of killed the whole momentum of that album. And really only hip hop heads who already had it and were checking for him, or even checking for him now, stayed in the pocket. But like somebody like my brother, I'm like, Pharoahe Monch put out 3 dope albums recently. He was like, like the dude did the Godzilla joint, and I'm like, man, you remember? Like, what I'm saying? Like, shit kind of angers you because you like, this nigga got a body of work that's crazy, and that's all you remember.
Yeah. So, War is my shit. War is crazy. That whole album.
And the crazy thing, the thing I've loved about Pharoahe on all his joints, he always has something about gun violence. You know what I mean? Like on Desire, he had to join Guns Drawn. You know what I'm saying? On PTSD, he had to join. And just his wordplay is stupid. We have to do a show about Pharoahe because you're right, man. A lot of people don't know, that this dude has had out albums. And on this joint right here, he has a joint called Trilogy. That's
It's
not
hard.
Yeah, true. It's hard.
telling the story, which is just
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So,
Yeah.
Pharoahe's a monster.
Yeah.
Who you got for your last one?
Yeah, man, I've been a fan of Pharoahe since fucking Fudge Pudge, man, when they was out front Astoria. My last one, I'm gonna go with 9, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 9. I mean that summer when that What You Want came out, and then the album that came with it everything. It fit. It was crazy. Album was tight. He riding around in the Jeep. Everybody went and bought fucking Jeeps. After that, dude fell off the face of the earth, like damn near literally. Nobody heard from the dude. Nobody seen the dude. His setup was tight because he was doing, radio work for Flex. He had a couple little singles before the album popped for Flex. Like he had a nice setup. He had a little. I think he even had some commercials out. Like he had a setup. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Nigga was like the original DMX and shit.
Yeah. Yes.
I bought
Who didn't? That What You Want with that Doc of the Bay sample? Come on, man. And then Red Rum. Oh yeah. Come on, man. Like it just you laughing, Kill, you dancing.
I'm laughing because I remember it.
When that shit
hip hop, when you could have fun, like you could scream.
Yeah, no doubt.
And K Solo could spell, like yo.
Yo, look, don't get it twisted. Letterman is still my shit.
Yeah, I'm just saying that those were the good times of hip hop where they could come out. What's your? It's almost like what's your superpower? I spell like words.
Yes. And, but that's what's missing with today's hip hop. Nobody has a superpower. Everybody just goes out there and fucking says they rap, and nobody brings something different to the table.
I agree with you. I don't know if a nigga spelling in 2017 would be like.
I ain't say all that, man. I'm just saying, man. It just feels like everybody is popcorn.
Nah, I feel you. But it was a superpower thing. It's like DOS effects. What's your power? Oh, we stutter. Like, y'all stutter. Great. This nigga stutters. This nigga spells. Like, like, hey, I get high. That's my super. Okay, you get high, you stutter, and you spell. Got you. Hit squad. Dopest posse, dopest crew in hip hop right now. Stutters, gets high, and spell. Like, we got it.
Yeah, man. 9.
Last group for me. Is Beezo's, man. He chopped it up with us many times. Rap lovers group, I. I loved their first album, man. Loved it. My man Little Mike would be like the little micro, I don't even got a word. He'd be like the little gnat in every studio. He'd be in New York and he'd be driving down 95 doing 100 to get back to the station. By midnight, he'd be like, yo, here's I and I's out, like on tape. Like, yo, I stole it from Pete Rock. Or,
oh, shit.
Album for you. Like, I mean, and this is, it never came out. This is like, I guess, the bootleg that I copped, and then eventually BBE put it out in 2006. But it was supposed to come out in 95 when Pete had his Soul Brother record deal with Elektra, and something happened and it fell out. But this album, I mean, this is five mics to me. Like, I love every song on here. Spear one. He had the video for Faking Jacks.
Yep, that shit was crazy.
It's with Faking Jacks, with the half sample, Step Up, Center of Attention, to Each His Own, No More Words, Think Twice. This is just a classic album. Every time I get with Grab, I'm just like always in awe. Like, yo, I love this album. You know what I mean? Every time I'm with Grab, I'm like, yo, you were like one of my favorite MCs. Like, you had the flow, you had the voice, you had everything. So I was my number one group. Y'all got any honorable mentions or whatever?
Yeah, I did. I did. It's so bad though. I can't remember the other cat's name, man. The Gunz and what's his name, man?
Lord Tariq. Soundview. Out of Soundview.
I mean, come on, man. The single was just so fire. You just had to know, like, yo, well, all right, they gonna drop some next crazy shit. Because both of them cats they were totally different in their demeanor and their style and the way they rhymed, everything. But it worked. You know what I'm saying? But just nothing. Now Peter Gunz is on loving hip hop and doing all that madness and stuff, man. It's like, man. I don't know what Homeboy's doing this shit.
Yeah, I think he giving hip hop tours.
What you mean, hip hop like of a museum or some shit?
Nah, man, you know they running around the Bronx giving hip hop tours. Yo, real talk. You know niggas running around the Bronx giving hip hop tours. I'm serious, Beezo. You ain't know that shit?
You mean like go to Hollywood, get a map of the stars, and he bring you to the Bronx?
Yes. They doing exactly what I was trying to do in the 80s. They want to go to Hop. They want to go to Farmers Boulevard.
They pulling up in front of Cedar and Sedgwick giving tours, man. I shit you not.
Man, I shit you not, bro. If I had the money for a tour bus, you think I wouldn't be giving wire tours in Baltimore? I'd be like,
that's what I was saying. Like, damn, ride real quick.
Oh, hell no.
You want to see the baby?
These the towers right here.
Come back with Omar to talk about killing Avon. We go right down here. I'd be giving tours of the wire. Trust me, man. Niggas love the wire. The wire put Baltimore on the map. Baltimore didn't even exist before the wire. Like, it was Morgan State. If you ain't go to Morgan or you was going to the aquarium, you wasn't going
Shitting on B1.
I know, right?
Like that, but I'm just saying, be real, man. Come on. Niggas in LA don't know nothing about no Baltimore.
I mean, truth be told, DMX was the first one to mention him when he said, holler at you from Baltimore and shit.
Nah, Jay talked about B-More.
Ray said when they was shooting up.
Jay talked about B-More.
Said that.
On the back of Wu-Tang's first album.
I was shooting up doors in Baltimore trying to score.
Yeah.
That's what my niggas would do. I knew about Baltimore because my Philly niggas would go down there to try to hustle.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah,
so, right.
The
shit, the wire.
Before the wire, how many niggas went to Morgan from LA?
One.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say
he was on the basketball team and shit, my man.
There you go. So niggas go to Baltimore. But now the wire, they know Baltimore. But you know, neither here nor there. But shit, they do give out tours, man.
That's crazy, man. He's a hip hop curator.
Yeah, man, real talk.
He's a curator for hip hop, yo. That's crazy.
Hey, man, you gotta get your part where you can, man. Like, yo, this the studio with me and Peter Gunz, you know, made, you know, the joint, whatever. You got any more, B?
No, I think that was really it, man. I mean, I did have audio too. Because, you know, I mean, shit, you talking about one of the classic hip hop singles ever. I mean, one of the most known, the beat been sampled dumb times, Mary J. killed it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny, the dude Gizmo, the DJ, I don't know if he still does, but for dumb years, up until maybe 5 years ago when Eddie F moved to Atlanta, he was the engineer at Eddie's studio out here in Jersey at the crib. I had a little beef with that knucklehead too, man. I owe me some paper, man. Man. He's acting on funny style and some money over me, shit, yo.
Yo, the funny thing, I like their first album, the whole What More Can I Say? You know what I mean? The second album had the joint Get Your Mother Off the Crack. It just wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, how you gonna name an album act like that, man?
That's just Mother Off the Crack.
Yeah, so you know, I feel you on that. Vague, you got any joints?
Yeah, I had a couple. I had DOS Effects down because I felt like once they stopped doing the Iggities shit, there was some niggas that just completely checked out. Even though they had, you know, some dope records after that.
Yo, Straight Up Suicide. And
Hold It Down. Hold It Down was fucking
Hold It Down. If they would
classic.
Fat.
Classic.
22 songs. If they would have trimmed that 22 down to 12, that's a 5-line classic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Too many skits and like you said, trim that shit down.
Yeah. I had Saigon down here because I felt like his shit was hot, especially, you know, leading up to that first album, but it took forever for that first album to come out. Then that nigga was on Love and Hip Hop, so that killed that shit. I had Killer Freeze down. Now the Killer Freeze shit, yeah, because, you know, I like the first album.
Yeah.
And, you know, I like a lot of people, I kind of checked out after that, and I didn't know he had, you know, he continued making albums throughout the years. So I wound up going on his forum, and, you know, dudes was like listing what they thought was better and shit, and I was like, well, you know, let me see what people are saying and listen to them shits. And it's like 2 joints. I think one is called Black August, and there's another one, and them shits are crazy, but, you know, obviously, you know, after the Bible joint and the joint with Ghosts on it, that they had the video for and shit, like, you know, niggas kind of checked out. Like, they just looked at it as, you know, that was that dope Wu affiliate dude who had that one album, and that was it. I also had Onyx down.
I was gonna put them down too. Word, I started to also.
Because Onyx felt like, you know, when the first album came out, you know, we was all crazy. Everybody cut their fucking heads.
Yep.
And then,
Hey, I cut my shit off quick.
yeah, and was all into the yelling. But I felt like those next two albums, they improved lyrically. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
What's the joint? What's the? They got one joint off of there that I didn't even realize until recently that Fredro Starr produced.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know. I forgot the name of it.
Last Days.
Last Days.
He produced that?
Yeah.
Fredro produced that?
Fredro produced it. Yo,
that shit was crazy.
Oh my god,
Last
man.
Days was fucking.
When that shit comes in the intro and
that shit is chilling.
Suicide Queens.
That shit is chilling. You know somebody gonna die when that shit come on.
Because I have a question about that song. I have a lyric question. In that song, he says, "Sexy niggas get abducted." And I've always
hold up, man. I'm googling that shit. Hold up, man.
Because I'm just like, and I've asked people, and people be like, "Nah, I think he's just saying, you know, sexy niggas are the niggas with all the jewelry." And I'm like, yeah, I would never.
I mean,
that shit's still suspect.
A nigga.
Bro, I mean, come on, man.
Oh shit.
DJ Quick straight up threatened to bang Everlast in his ass, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did.
And straight up had the line, "Fuck him in the ass, throw him over the bridge," man.
Yeah.
That was always a questionable line. Very hard song, but it was almost like
Very questionable line.
Oh shit.
They really get abducted, sexy niggas. So y'all be at the club.
Yeah, how are they determining who's sexy and who's not?
Yeah,
y'all stupid.
And Camp Low had a line. He said something about undercover faggot lovers, and I was like, huh. Okay.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, just checking in on some lines. You know, thought I'd run it past y'all, see if y'all had.
But you know who I had initially put down, but I had to take him off only because has a nigga ever made an album? Is Papoose?
No, you know what? I don't know. I
mean, a real album. Not a mixtape album, but a real album with a barcode on that shit that you can go to Target and buy.
I don't know if the shit was ever in Target.
I don't think so. And I started to see because I'm like, because I know like,
if I buy the album, can I buy it at Target?
Exactly. If I can buy it at Target, that's a real album. You know what I'm saying? If I
Best Buy doesn't count. Best Buy doesn't count.
My man on the corner down the street over there that's selling all types of incense and oils, and he got Papoose tape. That ain't an album. I could do that. We could all do that shit tomorrow. But it's like he had this swell storm that he was building up. You know, he had what's his name? K-Slade was backing him and all that, and then
yep. Yeah,
I know he's Remy Ma's husband. That's it.
The funny thing is that Pap was always one of them MCs that I was just like, yo, I'm not feeling. And it was so funny because you either loved them or you hated them. It was like no middle ground. I remember with Vegas's pick, Saigon, I remember it being like, yo, who's gonna rep New York better, Saigon or Papoose? And then neither one of them ended up panning out.
Yo,
they both up on loving hip hop. So there you go. I mean, what's the chances of the two niggas who's supposed to be repping the birthplace of hip hop to never drive it up until both end up on Love and Hip Hop? And I gotta watch Love and Hip Hop because every Monday my Twitter feed is just women. I mean, women in love with and I'm like, what the fuck is Papoose doing on this show that
he holding Remy down?
Is like, oh my God, I gotta find me a Papoose. Like
he holding Remy down. That's why they're going stupid.
Yeah, when she got locked up, he held her down when she got locked up.
And then I think she lost the baby, and I guess maybe just being supportive. But I'm just like, yo, slow down. Are black niggas that bad that y'all need a Papoose? Like we got to step up our game. If that's the level now of what women want is a Papoose. Like you just want a nigga to hold your hand when you lose the baby. Like nigga, we that bad? Like yo, we lose the baby.
That whole shit.
We kick y'all out the Uber. Like we that bad? Like
that whole show though is a train wreck, man. I mean, I only caught a bit of it because it was on before the season of the breaks.
The breaks.
One of the reruns of the breaks. And I recorded it. I'm like, it started late because it was that show like where everybody comes together and they got the lady calling out. Remember when you called her a crackhead and now everybody want to fight? I'm like,
the reunion.
I was like 3 minutes of that shit. Like, yo, this is crazy, man. This is world hip hop. This ain't hip hop.
Like Tim said, VH1 has a show that you can waste your time with. You know what I mean? So, did you have any more joints?
No, that was it.
All right. Well, let me go down. Jace, who's usually on with us, he couldn't do it tonight. He had Diggable Planets. He had Eric Sermon. He had Digital Underground. Here's a little questionable one. We gotta talk about this. He had Shaq, and I'm like, you know this, the hip hop shit. We do it hip hop.
Hold on, man.
Shaq, so we'll get on him about that later. He said Souls of Mischief, and he said Source Money. The cats I had House of Pain. I liked their first album, the Jump Around joint. I had Trends of Culture. I loved Off and On. I loved Valley of the Skins. Other groups I had, some people may not consider them one-hit wonders. I do. Leaders of the New School. I felt like they only had that one album out. That second album's Time to me was trash. They had that single, What's Next, was good, and the rest of that album, I don't know.
What's next was Busta's solo career. That's what was next.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I had Leaders. I had Black Sheep. You know, because I love the Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. You know, Flavor of the Month, Choice is Yours, Strobe Light Honey, the Similac Child remix with the video was crazy. But then that joint Nonfiction, like, I don't, you know, they had that one song, Without a Doubt, who had the Isley samples. That was dope. The funny thing is, I had Digital Underground too. I had no idea these niggas had out like 8 albums.
Yeah, they got plenty of albums.
I had no idea. Like, like they had Sex Packets in 90, Son of the P in 91, which was the Kiss You Back, Kiss Me and I Kiss You Back joint. The Body Hat Syndrome in 93, Future Rhythm in 96, We Got the Gravy in 98, and because of DU Party Don't Stop.
Wait. The niggas had an album called We Got the Gravy?
Yeah.
Sponsored by
They was on some like P-Funk.
They was on P-Funk shit.
Let's keep this in like
that shit was on what, Golden Corral Records?
I don't know. Beg. Let's keep this in perspective. We're talking about people's superpowers. Digital Underground superpowers was
Humpty Dump.
Doc G. That was their hip hop superpower. His hip hop superpower was I could turn around real quick and put on a nose.
Oh shit!
The funniest thing about hip hop, people fuck with me all the time. They be like, "Kill, y'all seen the episode? You said you ain't know I used to love it was about hip hop." Oh, nigga. I've run into people who actually thought Shock G and Humpty Hump.
It's two different people.
Wow. Nah, come on, man.
Nah, that's real shit. That's real shit.
I've come across people who are like, "Yo, what happened to Humpty?" And I'm like, "Well, Shock G." They were like, "Nah, Humpty, not Shock G, the rapper. Humpty with the funny." People really thought that shit. These people would not pay attention, man. That's not something you play with. That's not like
man. Yeah, pay attention, people.
That's not like a little jokey joke. That's like
you gotta do better than that, man. Come on,
they were serious.
Two different people, but yeah.
Come on, man.
I had Poor Righteous Teachers. I love PRT.
Yeah.
Like Rock This Funky Joint, Strictly Ghetto, Shaquilla, Timeless.
Shaquilla.
Their second album, Pure Poverty, was alright. They had another joint called Shaquilla.
Wait, speaking of Shaquilla, when you say Shaq, you talking about NBA Shaq?
Shaquille O'Neal, man. He had an album out. He had a joint.
I know that, but
my pick. That was my man Jason's pick.
That was Jay pick.
No, but I'm just saying, like, are we talking about like Shaq when he went to the Heat, or are we talking about Shaq?
No hooks.
We talking about Shaq. My biological didn't bother. Okay, you remember
no hooks.
So yeah,
I'm outstanding.
I mean, I didn't know his music ever. I mean,
yo, son went platinum.
Hey,
yeah, but you know that was the NBA
The next group I'm gonna name introduced us to Shaq, the Fooshnickens.
Yeah, I'm about to say them and the Fooshnickens.
I rock with F. You Don't Take It Personal. Truth be told, I want to say that this is the first time Tribe had outside production because I remember buying an album and seeing True Fooshnick and La Smooth by Tribe.
That shit was crazy.
I thought that was dope, and I had OGC. Can't click.
Oh yeah,
Strange.
Yeah, I was about to say I know people didn't love them, but Strang Wonder was my nigga. Like that dude had some ill punchlines. Strang Wonder like always came with it. Messed up that he got pistol whipped by Big's people. You know what I mean?
Never the same after that either.
Yeah. But I guess there you go.
Hey, get pistol whipped by some niggas. Shit.
Yeah. You know me. Then the Philly in me kind of comes out like. Y'all pistol whip String One and ain't do shit to Pac though, right? Okay, but neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. I'm not gonna go there.
Let some tell her they did do something to Pac. He lost the testicle.
Oh shit.
Okay.
At least secured a little Sean. That's little Sean.
Oh shit.
right.
Sure, people have something to do with that. As far as I ain't telling nobody.
Right. Let me be quiet then. So we all good. All right, man. Yo, give them all your information, man.
Oh, man, I didn't get my picks, man.
Man, I'm sorry. What's your honorable mention joint?
I got Craig Mack, Milkbone, Blase.
Wow, Milkbone, the white boy with the
yes, sir. He's from Perth Amboy.
Wow.
I got None, Milkbone, Blase. I picked
Blase. Yo,
I picked Black Sheep too, and Black Rob. Man, he disappointed me. Black Rob disappointed the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
You know what I forgot too? I didn't mean to mention when you said the Foosh niggas reminded me. I thought about them. I couldn't think of none of their music. Was UMCs.
Oh yeah.
You know,
when the grow on.
One of them dudes, he went on to produce. He produced
Respect the Deck and shit. They from Staten Island and shit.
He produced Apollo Kids for Ghost.
What?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, one of them UMC dudes, because you know he's from Staten.
Yes.
Yeah, they from Staten Island. Yeah.
So one of them became a producer, but one of the grow on was dope, and Blue Cheese.
Yeah,
Blue Cheese. Man.
Again, hip hop superpowers. What are y'all superpowers? We just fucking dance around and talk about blue cheese and shit. That's our power. We just confuse niggas. So
I had no idea what they were singing about, but it's like whatever, yo.
I don't know what Sound of the Zeekers is about, but hey. So, but that Blase Blah was a dope pick because when the East was in the house, that Danger was crazy. And
oh my god.
Remix to that joint was crazy too. But they just disappeared. Somebody else who I just remember, Real Live. I don't know.
Yeah. It was from Jersey.
And it was K Def, who was like Small's pro. They had a joint out. Real Live. They had a joint out. I forgot the name of their album, but this single was dope, and then it just didn't pan out. And you know somebody else too, Lords of the Underground, because I rocked with that first album with Funky Child.
Second album was tight, but it just like you said.
Yeah. And they had beef with Dice too, and then I think they had beef with Lord Finesse because Lord Finesse like, I'm the funky technician and you calling yourself Mr. Funky Man. So
oh wow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Everybody has some type of beef, man. This is why I miss the days of hip hop. You'd open the liner notes and you see everybody thanking everybody. You know, everybody used to hear them people's rhymes. I was listening to Kane's second album. He's shouting out, you know, I'm down LL Cool J, That's Sonic and EPMD, Public Enemy and BD. Like I miss that unity in hip hop, you know. But
it was a different kind of unity because niggas had unity, but on some like going back to the culture, niggas also had the side eye for like not on some beef shit, but like on some ego as in terms of where they are with their craft. Like Kane and Rakim never had beef, but at the same time, you listen to them do interviews now, and they both talk about how like you know, I knew about this cat, and you know I didn't specifically say something about him in a rhyme, but when I was writing my shit, I was thinking of I'm competing with this dude right here. You know what I mean? And it's funny when you mentioned about the beefs because you know who did have beef on the low was Common and Das Effects.
Yeah.
Where that came from?
When Common when he did the shit he said and cats taking it to the sewer or some shit like that.
Yeah, he did say that shit.
It came a point in hip hop where we just started getting a little too petty with the beats. Like, you know, I mean, that isn't straight. They had beef. P Rock and Shell had beef with him over that song too. But he kind of talking about the funk and that shit. They have beef with them too about that. Just, you know, I feel you, but we as hip hop, you know, I think Kendrick said on the last time, I gotta stop being so sensitive. Like everybody get mad nowadays. Like the nigga with the hood, I don't like him. Like Beezo, like, yo, you fucking talking to me? Like, yo, it's like 8 niggas with the hood. Like, you know, like I mean that whole funky beef, that's a little bit. I mean, damn. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's like, yo, you sample funky drummer, son. Like, everybody sample funky drummer. Yo, before I forget, the name of the song off Daily Operation was The Rep Grows Bigger.
Doo-doo.
Yeah, I didn't like that. You said Moment of Truth initially. It was Daily Operation.
Doo-doo.
No, I'm sorry. Off Moment of Truth. It's off Moment of Truth. The Rep Grows Bigger. It starts off with like
it's a bass line, and
then it goes into this joint.
Doo-doo.
At that time, I mean, keep in mind that this had to be 95. I don't think Moment of Truth came out till 97. So it's just a testament to show how long beats stay around before we hear them as fans. But at that time, if you could imagine in 95, Primo being Primo, talking unbelievable. If you look at Primo's body of work in 1995 and then play the Rep Rose Bigger, it is not going to blow you the fuck away. So,
understandable.
I'm just keeping it 100. It's not going to blow you away. It's going to kind of be like, you know. But again, it just goes to show you that in hip hop, sometimes you are like, I can't take this beat back because it's Primo or it's Pete Rock. And I'm like, my nigga, if you paying for it, I take shit back to Target all the time. Like, what you talking about? You can't take it back. I won't need a drill. Go to Home Depot, buy a drill, take that shit back. Come on, bro. You can take it.
Oh my God.
You know, especially if you pay it for it. Now, Primo like, yo, here's a free beat. Well, it is what it is. But if you paying for this and this Source Money like song on a soundtrack that was on Loud Records, like, you better come with some heat. And the Rep Rose Bigger just didn't do it for me like that. So, but the Vegas, give them all your stuff about your podcast, websites, everything, bro.
All right, you can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC. You can check out my podcast, Hip Hop Now Podcast. It's a podcast about hip hop stories and news and shit like that happen throughout the week. Keep you updated. That's on SoundCloud.com/hiphoppolitic, where the hop and the politics share the peak.
Veg, please say that again, because somebody's not gonna be able to put those two things together. So just do a letterman for us.
All right.
You like
if you like when you type it,
I'm gonna dumb it down a little bit.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
all right. So when you type it out, hip hop politic, right? Between the hop, the P at the end, the HOP, and then the politic, take one of them shits out, right? And then you'll get there. You know what I'm saying? Or you can just type in Vegas World INC. I've been on fucking internet so long, shit'll come up anyway. So
all right. We need to go back. We gotta get superpower. Rack, what's all your stuff, bro?
Hey, my Twitter is at DJRep1. My SoundCloud is JRep1. I got a podcast called The Foundation. I pretty much just mix hot hip hop, old school shit, whatever I'm feeling. Volume 3 will be out soon. I got a beat tape out called Reasonable Clout. Check it out. Let me know what you think.
All right, no doubt. B, give them all your stuff, man.
Yeah, let's give you the Twitter. It's at Real Life Thought. The Twitter handle. I mean, I got a SoundCloud, but I've been saying for a minute I'm about to take it down. I got rid of the pro unlimited whatever thing. I can't do it with SoundCloud like that no more, man. I just keep it around for business purposes. But you can check out my man if you into the NBA and especially the Knicks. My man Tommy D21 at SoundCloud. He does a podcast about the Knicks. He writes for like a couple of websites. He used to write for I think it was ESPN or one of them joints. And actually, I got the theme song for his podcast. You know what I mean? So you check him out, listen to some basketball talk, and that's my joints on his podcast, whatever. But yeah, man, just hit me up on Twitter, yo, Real Life Thought.
Yeah, especially if you're a Knicks fan and you want to argue, that's the one to hit up, man.
I ain't even gonna go there with you, Beezo. We cool.
You can argue with him all day about the
Nah, I ain't gonna do it.
Especially. So y'all
down by like 40 right now, as a matter of fact. I wouldn't be surprised.
What happened?
Game over. They lost.
Down by like 40 at this point if it ain't over yet.
Nah, it's over.
Not to even beat a dead horse. I'm so tired of TNT. Like, I'm not seeing no good games this year. I'm like, yo, how is Thursday night games used to be the shit? I'm like, the Knicks versus the Cavs. And now I gotta go downstairs and watch the Warriors demolish the Clippers for like the 20th. Yo, the Clippers,
that league pass, man.
The Clippers just need to forfeit them games like a high school team. Like, it's the Warriors just went. It's time.
Yeah.
I used to like it. I don't even like it no more. Like, I don't even like watching them annihilate the Clippers. Like, this is not a Thursday night game. Like,
yes.
So y'all know what it is. Kill 889. We'll make beats for food, man. Get at me, y'all. I'll catch y'all next week, man.
Peace.
Peace.